Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Greeting Star. Today we're going to be making this birthday card for an 18-year-old male. And you can see that the number 18 has been cut out of the front of the card. I did that with my Cricut mini machine. And today we're just going to be using some Nina White, Solar White card stock for the panel, and also this ink that I purchased off of Amazon. It comes in a set of I think 20 different kinds of ink, but what I like about it is there's 3 different shades of blue. Then we're going to be using this stamp set from Crafter's Companion. It's just for men, and it's a signature series by Sarah Davies. And so I'm going to also, this is the first time I've used these stamps, so I'm going to need to condition them. So I'm just going to get a little eraser, a little rubber eraser. Some people use very fine grain sandpaper to do this, but I find that the eraser does a good job too of just trying to get off any kind of film or whatever that stuff is that's on the stamps when you first purchase them. And this is just a baby wipe I'm using to wipe off that residue. And when I'm done with that, they'll be ready to use. And I'm going to, on the inside of the card, I don't know if you could notice or not, but there's a piece of copy paper that I've trimmed to fit inside the card. And so that way, the number 18, you won't be able to, the ink won't go through to the inside of the card. And also, I'm using it as a, well, actually, what I did was I left the number 1 and the number 8 in there so that when I stamp over it, I'm going to actually pull them out and put it on the inside of the card. It won't be just plain white. It'll have that design on it. For some reason, I can't really see the 1 and the 8 very clearly on here, but once I start stamping over it, you'll be able to see it. I don't know if you can see it clearly or not, but the cutout, I actually left them inside there while I was doing the stamping. This ink is it's very inexpensive, and I found that it was pretty juicy. The stamp pads are have a lot of ink in them, so that's kind of nice. They're very tiny and small. I don't think they'll last a long time, but for the price, I think they were well worth it. And the link for it will be down below in the description. So here you can start to see the 1 and the 8 when I stamped over it, and as the video continues you'll be able to see it better. But I think this is a really cool stamp set. I love the artistic look of it, and I think it's kind of grungy, but it's kind of neat. It's for a male, so I think it fits perfectly. The stamp set was designed for males, so I think it's great. And you could use this for so many different things, not just for men. I mean, there's so many different uses for this. It's inky and it's creative and it's artsy, so it could be used for women too. And one of the things I'm doing also, I have the 3 different colors of ink pads, but I'm also stamping more than once with some of the stamps. So that's called second generation stamping, and what that does is it gives you a little bit of a lighter effect the second or the third time you stamp. So that this is a monochromatic color scheme. In other words, I'm using all blue colors, just different shades of blue. So if you don't have all 3 stamps, if you only have 2, or even if you only have 1, if you stamp more than once, then you get the different shades, so you can still create that monochromatic look. And I'm using just a blank piece of paper underneath the card, so when I go off the edges, it doesn't make a mess on my craft mat, which it doesn't really matter because you can clean the craft mat, but I don't want to get the back of my card inked up, so that's why I'm doing that. And I'm just choosing various stamps to fill in the white space on the card. Just thinking as I go which one to use. I didn't plan it out ahead of time. I rarely do. I usually just gather the materials that I want to use for a card. I have a general idea in my head of what I want to do, and then I just go for it. Sorry, my card came off the edge a little bit there as I was working, so you couldn't see everything. But see, now I'm going to take out the number 1 and the number 8 I'm going to leave the, well, I wanted to add some design to that circle that's inside the 8 because those are actually going to stay. So now you can see the 8, and I'm just trying to rub away some of that leftover adhesive that was there. And now I'm putting the 18 on the inside of the card, and as you can see, that copy paper that I have on the inside, I printed a verse or a poem for my recipient of this card. So there's the 18 on the inside of the card, and you can see that paper there, and here's the outside of it. And the interesting thing is when I was rubbing that adhesive away, some of the blue ink sort of off from my finger kind of got inside the spaces of that 18 there. It kind of made it blend a little better instead of being such a stark white. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and please visit me on my blog at greetingstar.org, or check out my ebook at amazon.com/author/greetingstar. Thanks so much and have a great day.